everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to our channel. And for those of you that are new here, first up, we just like reintroduce ourselves, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're the Perfume Pros, but we are actually Sarah
and Georgina. It's actually funny because we did it at the first video, which was our first video was back in May last year now, and then I don't think that we've ever introduced ourselves since. And because
we do have names.
We do have names. And because we're doing a new launch video today with our roundup of some January new launch fragrances, we thought, well, we should probably also explain again, for those of you that are new to us, that when we talk about new launches, in fact, when we talk about any fragrances, we're picking from the portfolio of fragrances that Sarah and I work with.
Yeah. So we work for a distributor in the UK in training, and we have many brands to choose from, over 25 brands, so there is always new stuff all the time.
Always.
But that might be why you're waiting to see Chanel, for example, and it never pops up. Yeah. But you'll gauge that if you're subscribed to us anyway. You'll get the gist of it.
Exactly.
So we've got some new things that are launching in January. Actually, most of them are end of January.
Yeah. Well, coming up now.
Now,
really.
yeah.
And I always think it's quite nice, a new launch in January, because it's nice to have something new year, new fragrance.
It's actually become one of the biggest times to launch fragrances in the year. It used to always be kind of September, like pre the Christmas rush, and now January is when a lot of good new stuff comes out. So the first thing I'm going to show you is from more of like a niche brand, maybe not so well known, and that's Annick Goutal, French brand.
This is a brand that we love to work with.
A new fragrance.
There's always a lot of stories behind them.
This new fragrance is called Tenue de Soiree, and I will give you a close-up on the amazing bottle. Now, if you know Annick Goutal, you'll be like, what the hell is this?
It's totally
completely different from anything they've ever done before. Normally, all their bottles are exactly the same shape, and you can't really tell them apart easily. This is completely new, designed by Camille Goutal, who is Annick Goutal's daughter, who still works for the house. And the pom-pom is actually detachable. So if you take the lid off, then you can use the pom-pom, and it's got a little clip here, so you can use that on a bag or a key ring, and yeah, it's really cute. So Tenue de Soiree, you should probably explain it if you don't speak French. We don't speak French, but we know that it means evening dress.
We speak French when we need to.
We learn what we need, but don't ask us to hold a conversation. So
evening dress.
It means evening dress, and the idea behind it is that it's like going on a night out in Paris. It's chic, it's elegant, it's the excitement, it's kind of young and fun, and the colour of it, the colour of the bottle and also the colour of the pom-pom is meant to be like the colour of the sun setting in Paris, that kind of amazing purpley, pinky glow in the sky. So let's
everything's
have a try.
very pink and purple today.
It is, everything's pink. January is all about pink. Let me get a blotter
behind you. Here you go.
Thank you. Oh, I've lost the lid.
Oh no. There we go.
Right, so we're going to have to use blotters because we spray so many things. We can't have it all on our skin.
Thank you.
Okay. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, that needs to go on my skin. I love that. I love that
it's
already.
Described by the perfumer as a sweet chypre.
Okay.
So chypre is something we did a video on once before. We'll link it below actually. It's a whole category of fragrances that are quite kind of traditional in their glamour. They make me feel like old school 20s glamour.
Yeah,
this
elegant.
has got a sweeter edge to it, but it's still got that feel about it, like some woman sitting at her boudoir dressing table with a powder puff and lipstick kind of feel. I'm not sure. Like they've been very secretive about the ingredients on this one, so we've not got a whole list. But from smelling it, I would say there's definitely some kind of berry fruit in the top.
Well, there's a sparkle and a fizz and some kind of what's the word? Like champagne bubbles, you know, like what am I trying to say? So, anyway, it smells fizzy.
Yes, and what you definitely can smell is iris.
Yes,
so
powdery.
Yeah, powdery and kind of feminine and glamorous. And yeah, it's a really nice addition to the Annick Goutal portfolio. Very different. I would imagine kind of targeted more at a younger customer than what they have at the moment.
And also, it looks so different, like you said, so that it doesn't necessarily follow the same vein as all of the other Annick Goutals.
It's trying to breathe a new life into the house.
I can see where they're going with the word evening dress, the concept, because I definitely would wear this in the evening.
Yeah.
But not just in the evening, but I definitely love this as an elegant fragrance.
Really nice.
To be honest, I just like the pom-pom.
You'd have to be careful though not to spray the fragrance into the pom-pom.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay. Well,
all right,
anyway.
so next up,
let's do something from Jimmy Choo. I don't know what to do with that now. Let's pop that up there. Okay. Jimmy Choo has a new fragrance out this month as well, and it's called Jimmy Choo Low, just like water, low. And you can, those people that know Jimmy Choo well, will recognise this bottle, but the original sort of round bottle has been elongated into a sort of cocoon shape.
Yes.
It's
nice actually.
Nice
it's a very
concept.
simple idea, but I like it.
Like it's been stretched, but I think I quite like that effect, and I would like that on my dressing table. This is very pale pink, whereas the original Jimmy Choo was quite a sort of deep snakeskin print.
Yes, it was an obvious print.
This is
more
much
texture.
Yeah, and very subtle, but still has that snakeskin. Because of course, Jimmy Choo, they use a lot of python print in their shoes and accessories, so it's quite nice when you've got an accessories brand that's very well known for them to then use that same design in their fragrance. It ties the whole thing together, and I quite like that.
Definitely.
Should we have a smell?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, do you want it on the blotter?
Yeah, please. Have you got blotters?
I have. There we go. So this one is quite different from the original, because the original has a lot of toffee in it. But this one, it's much more sparkling and quite delicate and more floral. No, I'm okay on the wrist, thank you. What do you think?
I couldn't not like it. You know, it's
very wearable.
Yeah, it's so soft. Soft floral, a little bit fruity.
Yeah, well the fruit.
It's some kind of like, it's not so raspberry as the Tenue de Soiree.
No, it's nectarine.
Oh yes.
And nectarine's great. It's juicy
smell. Yes. That's really nice.
You can really detect it now, can't you? And also you've got that lovely peony in here as well, combined with hibiscus flower. I've got a little hibiscus here behind me. Hibiscus is a great flower because it's quite exotic and it reminds us of holidays, and it gives us, you know, in January we all need to think about where we're going on our summer holidays. And for me, if I think, I'm wearing a fragrance with hibiscus in it, that reminds me of like sunny Spain.
Okay, it's definitely a kind of beautiful, delicate, soft floral. Any age, I'd say could wear this, from a teenager up to a more mature lady. It's a nice classic smell.
For me, I think I'd probably wear this as my daytime fragrance. It's uplifting and it's juicy and it's pretty. And then maybe my Tenue de Soiree in the evening.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when am I going to wear the next one?
Well, just not enough time. So the next one we've got, the last one for today, is from Cartier, and it is this one here, and it's called Baiser Fou. So I'll show you a good close-up there on the bottle, and I'll also show you top of the bottle as well.
More pink.
And the packaging, which is in a beautiful hot pink colour. So some of you might know Baiser Volet from Cartier, which is an existing fragrance. It's a Soliflor fragrance based on lily, and Baiser Volet means a stolen kiss. So this is kind of its younger, cheekier, more mischievous sister.
I like that idea.
This is Baiser Fou, which means crazy kiss. Okay. So like crazy as in wild and passionate. Yes.
Not crazy as in mad.
Not as in, no. And the fragrance is also a Soliflor, like Baiser Volet. And this time, the fragrance that the perfumer Mathilde Laurent has focused on, like the flower, is the orchid. So
quite a nice flower to use that in perfumery.
Yes, because it's not used a lot.
Not awful lot. Not for solid. And not for solid florals.
No, the reason it's not used a lot is because it's another one of these silent flowers that most of the time you can't get a smell from an orchid when you distill it. And actually, there's only few orchids that have any kind of scent at all.
Yeah, because often, you know, if you're going to a garden centre or whatever and buying an orchid in a pot, it doesn't necessarily have a big smell.
You don't buy it for the smell,
you don't.
Do you?
You buy it because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's interesting that Matilda's found a particular orchid. What's the name?
So apparently she smelled over 100 different orchids to find one that she wanted to replicate the smell of. And the actual orchid is called the Twinkle Orchid.
That's quite sweet.
And it's an orchid with very small little flowers, and it just sounds lovely and delicate, doesn't it?
Let's have a smell.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Right.
That doesn't smell floral on first spray.
It smells quite green at first, doesn't it? Yeah.
So having talked about the orchid, I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
But it's quite fizzy.
Yeah.
I like that. Can I have spray that one?
Yeah.
I'm going to find some skin left. I'm going to go up here. Look.
As with usual with Cartier, they're quite minimal on the information that they release in regards to the smell of the fragrance. So you don't get a huge list of ingredients. We know that it's based on the smell of an orchid, and from that we can gauge certain facets to it. There is definitely a sweetness to it. I would say like some kind of berry. It's
almost like a raspberry note. You know when you get that kind of fizzy raspberry.
It's like a kind of raspberry sorbet or something, isn't it? Yeah.
But I really like it because actually it's not what you expect.
No, it's not sickly sweet at all. It's very sophisticated in its sweetness. And then.
But I like that. If the name means Crazy Kiss and it's kind of passionate, you want it to be a little bit unusual.
Yeah, so the tagline for the fragrance is the taste of a kiss.
Ah, okay.
So it's meant to have that kind of smell of, like, almost like this of lipstick. Of a kind of crazy kiss, basically.
Do you know what? I'm actually getting that now.
Yeah.
That almost like powdery makeup type feel does come through.
But there's definitely a lot of greenness in here for me that gives it almost like a vegetal, so you know that this is inspired by a plant. The other thing to say is on the dry down, I'm not getting it so much here because we've just sprayed it, but on the dry down it definitely has a slight gourmand feel to it, like a kind of depth in the base that's quite sweet as well. I also should just tell you about the lid. So it doesn't have a lid that comes off. You will have seen when I sprayed it goes like that. And this is this stone on the top. Obviously Cartier are a world famous jeweller, and that's inspired by the rubellite stone that they use in a lot of their jewellery, and they actually have a jewellery range based on orchids, so it's pieces of jewellery
it all ties
that
in
look like orchids, so that's why it all comes together so well.
That's nice.
So yeah, it's like a gorgeous fragrance, very
I like all of those actually.
Different but lovely. Yeah.
I don't even know if I can pick a favourite.
It's really hard.
But this is the thing in our jobs, is that we're so lucky because we train a lot of these fragrances, and there's obviously, as Sarah said, new ones every month, and then what happens is you just say, no, I need that in my collection at home, and I need that, and you end up with so many fragrances you have to wear literally a different one every day.
It's really hard. So yeah, that's our kind of roundup of new women's fragrances that are launching just now. We'll try and keep these videos coming for you. There'll be some men's videos as well in the next few
next month.
weeks. Whilst we're here though, if you stayed this long to the end of the video, we were thinking that we might do in a few weeks time a Q&A video, because we know a lot of you do have questions in the comments, and so in order to do a Q&A we need
to ask us questions.
So in this video, can you leave below in the comments any questions that you would like us to answer in a video in a few weeks time? Just write them in the comments, we'll pick them up and we'll make a whole video answering your questions.
Or as many of them as we can.
Yeah. By the way, if your question is what's your favourite fragrance,
it's impossible.
It's really hard. We can't answer that so well, but you leave the questions that you want.
We'll have a go. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you all again soon.
Bye.